What's up guys, James here from Reflect the Screen, and today I review a film that you might have heard of it. It's a Spike Lee joint. It's called BlacKkKlansman. Now this film comes at a very important time in America's history because, listen, politically speaking, it's a very divisive nation, but cinematically speaking, there's a huge platform to speak on these sort of things and speak on past events, and in this case, it's the true story of Ron Stallworth, a rookie cop in Colorado Springs, if I'm not mistaken. The dude is awesome, and he's going to try and infiltrate the local chapter for the Ku Klux Klan in Colorado Springs, so buckle up. Rookie cop turned detective Ron Stallworth, who's played by Denzel Washington's son, John Washington, decides he's had enough of basic police work. He's ready for a big case. One day, he decides to call the local Colorado Springs Ku Klux Klan chapter. Now, Felix, played by Jasper Pääkkönen, picks up the phone, and hey, Ron secured himself with the local Klan. I'm gonna start biting my nails now. Thing is, Ron is not gonna be Ron. Actually, it's gonna be Detective Flip Zimmerman, played by the wonderful Adam Driver. Now, what's the goal, right? Well, it's to take down the Ku Klux Klan at Colorado Springs. It sounds huge. It sounds like a huge deal because it was a huge deal, and well, the film does a great job of telling the story. From the onset, we get this monologue by Alec Baldwin, who plays some pro-KKK member, recording a message for all of the KKK members, and it's insane. But it also boils my blood, and I think that's Spike Lee's intention, and it worked, because it got me a little riled up. I thought to myself, hold up, who does this man think he is? Oh right, I gotta remember the time. Still didn't make it right. Alec Baldwin did a great job of acting in that first scene, and it really did set the tone for the rest of the film. Now, I've seen a few episodes of Ballers. Admittedly, I stopped because it's really bad. But John Washington is one of the lead characters alongside Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He plays, I believe, a wide receiver or something like that. And funny enough, John Washington in real life was going to be a football player. So here we are, Denzel's son in BlacKkKlansman. And let me tell you, he does a pretty darn good job. He peels back these layers of acting I've never seen from him. From the 3 episodes I've seen of Ballers, let me tell you, he was horrible. Now in BlacKkKlansman, Spike Lee brings the best out of this actor, and honestly, that leads into another positive. Spike Lee does a great job as a director in just bringing these different characters out of these actors who we already know are either really good or they're either kind of bad. Now, in this case, every actor is pretty darn good in this movie, especially Ryan Eggold, who plays Walter. Walter is one of the local chapter leaders, and let me tell you, I've seen him in different things, and it's so cool to see that he's just like transitioned into this character. I didn't recognize him. Jasper Pääkkönen, for example, as Felix, the crazy out of this world, he's insane, he's a lunatic. I mean, if you're a part of the KKK, you are a lunatic, but he just plays this manic, hungry for power guy, and it's kind of hard to put into words because you have to see it on the big screen. Now, what's really awesome is, yes, this film is written by 3 people. I'll touch up on that in a little bit, but the dialogue is written very well. So I think the script really does cater to each actor and actress's strengths. I mean, listen, the movie itself is very heavy on dialogue. You don't come to this movie for action. There are some scenes that amp up in adrenaline, but not too often. You're really here for the detective work. Now, I love the juxtaposition that you see a little bit in the middle, but more so towards... Honestly, I had to go see. Someone was calling me and it was a spam caller. And they're calling me again. I can't take this, right? You better hang up. But let me tell you, what's really neat is what, the film does in the middle of the movie, but more so in the last half of the film, where you see a juxtaposition of both past and present events. So what we see in this film, yeah, it was a true story. It happened in the past. But guess what, guys? What we're seeing in the past kind of is being repeated now in the present. So the film does a great job of, well, it made me kind of sad and deeply disturbed me in moments. Like, there was a time I had to turn away from the screen, and I'm not gonna say it because I'd rather you kind of be surprised too, but yeah, I had a hard time and I was really upset. That's what this movie's supposed to do, though. It's supposed to make you upset. If it doesn't get you riled up, you gotta check your pulse. Now, with all those positives and sure references to past events and to present events, whether it be community or politically speaking, some of it was a little too on the nose. Now, I get it. Spike Lee, that's the purpose, right? I've been saying it this entire time. The purpose of the film is to get you riled up, so what better to do than to juxtapose both past and present? But here's the thing. It is so on the nose in moments where you're just saying it just to say it. When they take jabs at, Donald Trump in the White House, we get it, and then it lingers, and then it continues going on. Yes, we know, but it's not serving a clever purpose. It's just there for reference's sake and to make fun of the presidency, and I get it, we get it. It's one of those things where you're just like, alright, moving on. Because the movie itself is successful when it doesn't try too hard, right? The movie doesn't succeed when you're really struggling for these references to current political happenings. Now, there's a subplot to this film that involves Ron Stallworth's love interest, which is Patrice Dumas, who's played by Laura Harrier. Laura, you might recognize her from Spider-Man Homecoming. She was great. She was Peter Parker's little crush. In this film, she's much more mature, and she's a student activist. John Washington happens to stroll into one of their meetings, and, well, while being undercover, kind of falls for this woman. And at first, it's okay. It's not bad, but the problem is it never exceeds the it's just okay factor. It's just kind of there. I mean, the subplot, they try so hard to focus on it in some moments, and I didn't think it really added anything to the film. So in those instances, I thought the film kind of lacked. Look, it's not a perfect film. Now, one more positive before we get to the overall thoughts. Steve Buscemi's brother, Michael Buscemi, is in this film. Him, Adam Driver, and John Washington have this awesome chemistry that just like, it completes the film in a sense. It's the glue in so many scenes. There's an awesome scene, it's hilarious, in the police station where they're role-playing through what's gonna happen when Flip Zimmerman meets the Ku Klux Klan in Colorado Springs. Oh, it's really good. I mean, really, I wish we saw more of it, but we saw enough. It was cool. Well, guys, as you can probably sense, I really enjoyed BlacKkKlansman. It's not a spectacular technical film, but I think the storytelling and the narrative devices that Spike Lee uses really benefit this movie. Spike Lee is probably the only director I can think of that could do a film like this. That sounds like the film is perfect. Sure, it's not a perfect movie, but when I go to the theater, I don't always need action. Sometimes I just need a good story with good characters and an ending that's going to stick with me. So a theater full of emotion. It just created such a great atmosphere, and that's why BlacKkKlansman succeeds. So yeah, guys, I would really recommend BlacKkKlansman when it drops. I hope that you take the time to see the film. It's worth it. It's worth every penny that you're going to spend on it. And it's a ride that doesn't even feel long, even though the runtime might seem long. Just buckle up and get ready to be really mad. So guys, if you enjoyed my review of BlacKkKlansman, go ahead and drop a comment below when you see the film. Hit me up with a like if you enjoyed this review, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content from Reflect the Screen and myself. And I think the kids are now saying smash the bell, which is the notification bell, so you can just keep up with every review I drop. Remember, we're getting closer to fall, right? It's gonna be busy. It's gonna be real busy. And remember, you can go to reflectthescreen.com for some stuff that you won't see in front of the camera. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.